emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is my plea. Help me, this is an emergency. Why won't you pick up the phone and stop ignoring me? This world is getting crazy. Can't you see what's going on? Your children dying over turf that they don't even know. All I'm asking you for is just a little support. I want my homie hit the ground like ashes from a Newport. Don't get me wrong, I'm still bet my soul on you, but I'm trouble now and I don't know what to do. So I picked up the phone, area code 777 down J Christ, and got put on hold to heaven. They say faith is what you need if you want to succeed. So listen out for my call. This is an emergency. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. My occupation is saying I'm seeking communication with my father upstairs, but I don't know if he listening. Tell me, how can I keep your commandments through all the bickering that your children is saying because they feel you ain't hearing them? Sick and tired of the pain, thunderstorms and heavy rain. I feel like Abel trapped in the world, pursued it by Cain. I just don't understand. What do you want? What is your plan? I was the operator. Pick up and tell me something. Is it that I'm just a pawn in a game of chess? Would you sacrifice me so you could save the rest? You know I wouldn't call if I didn't need you. Getting worried, life is hell, I feel like I'm slipping. My mama told me get your wet together cause you're tripping. But it's hard to walk right, brother, while you're limping. Everything's crashing down, there's nowhere to run. With my back against the wall, I'm dialing 911. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son. This is an emergency. You're calling 911 when you make time out of your schedule to answer your son.
Hey, greetings. How's everybody doing? This is your boy, Prince Benton Yah. You have just tuned in to Biblical Truth, where we got this thing going off and popping. Today's subject is atheism. We want to know what you believe. For all atheists out there, I don't discredit your belief. I just need to understand it. So we're going to do a show today to try to see or try to get an input on why atheists feel there is no God and the purpose of a God is just to deceive man. So I want to take this time out to ask everybody who's tuned into this channel to please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the box, put that notification bell on so you can tune in to all of my new, subjects or comments or whatever I got going on, events, anything of the sort. Y'all just make sure y'all tune in and check me on out. This is Biblical Truth, y'all. We don't know no other way but to get it to you real. You know what I mean?
God, who was all powerful. It was convincing everyone else that you couldn't ridicule that idea. We're all born atheists, and then that gets changed or enhanced. I mean, there shouldn't even be a word for atheism. It shouldn't exist. Shouldn't need it. There's not a word for not believing in fairies, And if people didn't keep inventing these weird, impossible deities, we wouldn't have to go around denying them. The human brain, when it's young, is a sponge. It has to be. It has to take in all the information. It has to trust its parents, its elders, to survive. Without question, don't touch the fire. Why not? Don't go near the wolf. Don't touch that spider with a red dot. Don't touch that. Why not? Just don't. There is a God. What? There is a God. And if you're bad, you go to hell. Okay? And if that's constantly confirmed, like all the other things, wolves eat you, black widows kill you, fires burn you, if it's given that same level of credence and truth, you're never going to get over it. It's going to be a lot harder to undo that. I think the myths came up, maybe, often as a stopgap to knowledge until we find out more. The earth is flat, and no, we've proved now, okay, the earth's not flat, we were wrong, okay? But that's not personal. You don't take that personally. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your afterlife, And so they often want to hold on to that, right? But only because of the way they've been conditioned. We know it's fun to tell children there's a Santa Claus, and there's fairies at the bottom of the garden, and all these cute things. It's cute till they're 7 or 8. If they're 34, it's a bit embarrassing socially. This is my son. What's he doing? He's looking for fairies. Is he? Okay, we better leave. If you're born in India, you're probably a Hindu. If you're born in America, you're probably a Christian. If you're born in Pakistan, you're probably a Muslim. That's a coincidence, isn't it? That you're always born into the right God. Always. Isn't that lucky? I was born under the right God. All those others are going to hell.
That is so true, dude. If you pay attention to religion, it doesn't matter what religion it is, from Muslim to Christian to Mormons to Buddhism or whatever it is that you want to claim your religion is. If you have a religion, then what he says is true. You're always the one that has the right religion and everybody else got it wrong. And because they got it wrong, they are your enemy and they are going to hell and you're going to heaven to reap everlasting paradise, and everybody else is going to suffer. Who knows who got it right and who got it wrong? The problem is too much segregation amongst religious people. I mean, if you could all just study together and take the truth out of all religions and dismiss the lies in it, then maybe we could come up with a full picture to help this atheist man come out of the mental state that he's in. But as far as what I could see at this moment, at this time, he make an accurate point. So I'm not going to dispute it. Let's see what else he got.
But I was born into the right religion. I'm going to heaven. It's strange that we hold on to these sort of medieval beliefs. Where did the universe come from? God made it, which doesn't solve the problem for me, because we straight away say, well, who made God? And if they say, well, he's always been around, well, let's just say the universe has then. Let's just cut out the middleman.
Well, that also make a lot of sense because God has to live in something. Whatever universe that may be in, he has to survive in some form of a universe. Or I don't know, even if God has always been, if he's always been, he always been where? What realm? Is it realms? Are realms considered universes, so to speak? I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you think about what he's saying. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an atheist. I believe that I was created by a higher being. Who that higher being is who I'm searching to find. But I don't believe that humans are so similar: 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, eyebrows, a nose, 2 ears, a mouth, 32 teeth in their mouths, hair on their head. You could distinguish a human from a bear and a bear from a lion and a lion from an eagle. You could distinguish the difference. There has to be an artist at play. Now, who that artist is what's up for debate. We trying to figure out who that artist is that design does so perfectly to fit in our own sets, to fit in our own groups, to be able to know a male from a female species of any kind. There has to be an artist at play. Now, what's his name? That's up for debate. Who is he? Which God is he? Is he the Hindu God? Is he the Muslim God? Is he the Christian God? That's up for debate. Maybe he's all in one. Maybe the only way to touch the world was to come to the people in a form that they would respect. Look at society today. A white man would never worship a God not of his own color. A Chinese man would never worship a God not of his own color. A black man won't worship a God not of his own color. So maybe God reached everybody in a way where he would be accepted. Maybe he had to get the message through King Selassie the first. And for folks that don't know who that is the Jamaican president who they find to be something similar to a rabbi. King Selassie the first was like Moses. You know, he was a prophet, a deliverer of the people. The European Zionist Jews today say Donald Trump is their Messiah. These are the people we supporting, who believes Donald Trump is their Messiah, who have taken over the Holy Land and opened it up to homosexuality, where they are now allowing gay rabbis to run the office. Gay rabbis in the Holy Land. The mountain Moses came down with the 10 Commandments is surrounded by nightclubs. Go back and do your research, people. Go back. This thing is serious. It's real out here. This is not a game. You really do have to watch religion. Religion causes segregation. You're not allowed to get along with anybody that's not a part of your religious and spiritual understanding. Instead of you coming to one mutual mind, how about you listen to them and they listen to you, and then you could take from their religion what is pure enough for your understanding and blend it in with yours. If we could do that with every religion, trust me, I seriously believe we will find the truth. But the devil's biggest trap was to get us not to be able to come together as a species. Not as a race or a nation of people, but as a species. We can't get along. And if it's not about color, it's about religion. If it's not about religion, it's about nationality or where you come from. It's always a reason that the enemy uses to keep mankind from evolving. So I don't discredit the understanding of this gentleman right here, Ricky Gervais. I don't. At the moment, I'm kind of on the same page with him, which scares me a little bit. I hope he don't convert me. Let's get back to the video. But y'all, please pay attention to him. He make valid points. Don't, for all my Christian viewers, don't discredit what he's saying because you know he's an atheist. So you figure he's going to think like this because he's an atheist. Christianity and religion is what made him an atheist. If you pay attention to his argument, here we go.
Dogma is the dangerous bit, and it doesn't just exist in religion. It exists in more and more places now. That cultism, that which shouldn't be questioned. Anything that, you know, that's what you want to question. If someone says you shouldn't question this, oh, you've got to question it. You've got to question it. It should be irrelevant, but it isn't, because it does infringe on people's liberties. Certainly religion, not spirituality. You know, someone believing in God, that's fine.
Harmless.
So you heard what he just said. He just said that's fine. He doesn't have a problem with the fact that you believe in a creator. You believe in somebody greater than yourself, an artiste, a scientist, mathematical genius that designed us. He understands that something more powerful and something with greater technology and a bigger mind span and understanding of the way the universe works and science, mathematics. He understands that he was designed by something. He just don't believe in what man says that individual or supreme being is. I believe he knows there's a creator or somebody or a group of spiritual entities or higher beings, extraterrestrial, whatever. He believes that something designed and created us, or he would totally dismiss the thought of a God.
Absolutely, doesn't bother me at all. Religion isn't harmless. It's when your God starts telling you that you should kill homosexuals, and
Exactly.
That's when it's not harmless anymore. Most religious people aren't crazy. It's something else. Again, it's something, we worry about the people who believe the bad bits in their holy book as well as the good bits. Most nice people who believe in God, they can tell the difference.
He's absolutely, once again, 100% right about that. I believe in Yah. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I believe in the Creator, but I also notice how man has manipulated his words or whatever it is that he left for us so we can have a connection with him. Man has distorted that. And I've noticed the good and the bad. For example, the Bible have a lot of incest in it. And then we want to kill homosexuals. But what about the incest? What about the fact that Abraham married his sister? What about the fact that they claim that that Cain married his sister? Lot had children with his daughters. Noah and Ramshak, Meshach, and Abednego couldn't have populated the world without some form of incest. What about Jacob? Jacob married his half cousins. He married into the family. He had two of his cousins or had relatives, both of them sisters. Jacob, while he was running from Esau. The Bible is full of incest. The Bible is full of murder. The Bible is full of hatred. It's a lot of stuff, but we're not going to get all the way into it because that's not the real subject. I'm just pointing out a few factors to show you that you can't just throw away the argument of an atheist. You got to be able to listen to their views on the matter because he makes a valid point. He makes a valid point. So far, I have no argument against the brother. Let's see what else he say. Maybe he could say something I disagree with. But so far, so good.
They know the nice, they cherry pick and they know the nice bits from the bad bits. They don't do the bad bits. And my point is, if you know the bad bits from the good bits, you don't need the holy book. You're already a moral person. I think it's very important you challenge your own beliefs. I mean, that's what science does, really. It doesn't constantly try and prove itself right. It follows the evidence, whatever that is. In fact, it tries to prove itself wrong. It doesn't sulk. When science thinks something and then it discovers it was wrong, it doesn't sulk because it found that out too. It's the question I often get, that people say, well, you're an atheist, you're closed-minded. No, I'm not. That's a strange thing to say. I think the opposite is true. I'm going to always follow the evidence, whatever that is. And they say things like, if someone proved to you God existed, would you believe? Well, of course I would, by definition. In fact, it would be the greatest scientific discovery of all time.
But Christians know they can't prove that God's real. Muslims know they can't prove that God's real. There's no religion on the planet that could prove that their God is real. You could prove that a scorpion sting is poisonous, and if it stings you with it and you don't get the right medical treatment, if you're not immune to that poison, you could very well die. People know that if a lion is charging at you, you're gonna be dinner for tonight. These are things that could be proven. If you don't think you'll be dinner to a lion, go out there in the African jungles and walk in the center of a pride of lions, and let's see what happens. This stuff could be proven, but religious folks tell you faith is all you need. You don't need no proof. Now, throughout all of the Bible in the Old Testament, God was hands-on with people. And you mean to tell me that you just saw frogs fall from the sky and the water turn to blood and the firstborn die and still turn your back on God, and it's us men? This is what religion teaches you. Men are the ones that went against the grain. We're the ones that are unholy and has a sinful nature. We the one that go against God. That is close to impossible when you're doing what's in your nature to do. And the argument would be, well, it wasn't part of our nature. It was the sin that was brought into the world that gave us the nature that we have right now that's against God. Well, if that was the case, flood the world, start over again. Because when God flooded the world with Noah, it seems like we're going through the same situation right now. Why? Because Noah came from a man and a woman. As a matter of fact, Noah didn't even come from a righteous seed. You got to go back and look at the bloodline that Noah came from. Noah was considered an albino baby. He was an albino baby. Father and mother was afraid of Noah when he was a child. This is stuff you got to go back and read. Go back and read ancient texts. Not the 66 books that man decided to give you after they went back through the 1611 version and cut out 14 of the books and gave you the rest. Go back and read the Sumerian text, the Egyptian tablets. Read about Thoth. Go back and do real research. Read the first and second book of Adam and Eve, the book of Enoch, the Apocryphals of Peter, the book of Jonas, the book of Thomas, the book of Mary Magdalene, the book of Judas. Go back and read these things that they don't want you to know. And you will fully, sincerely understand exactly where me and this brother stand. Now, I'm not an atheist, so I disagree right there. I don't know. Atheist to me means there is no God. I believe that anything greater than I could be considered a God.
Scientists would celebrate. They'd run round. At the moment, we have no evidence for the existence of any God or anything supernatural. Never have. Possibly never will. But who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. When someone puts forward a jar of God, we'll test it for its godliness. And if we find there's anything godly in it, we'll write it down. If you throw a load of coins on the floor no one arrangement is more amazing than another. And it's sort of like they work backwards. Because this is what happened, this is what we think is perfection. So we try and we can't get around the fact that it's crazy. We've got two eyes. That's exactly where I put them. You know, these are brilliant. This is exactly, if I was making a person, I'd make it just like me. And it's hard not to think there was a will to it, but there wasn't.
Hey, y'all, didn't I just say that? So I'm glad that I said that, because now he's actually saying that he doesn't believe it was a coincidence that we have 2 eyes and 10 fingers. So guess what? We have our first disagreement. If you don't think that there is something that designed a mosquito from a beetle and designed the species and why they don't integrate or interbreed with one another, then because it's in a natural basic instincts, then you just lost me there. This is our first disagreement, people. But let me finish hearing them out first. Maybe I overspoke. Maybe he finna come back and put that into perspective, into the right context.
You know the Mark Twain quote about, it's so great that I have ears here to hold up these things. We have glasses, and these ears are just perfect for that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And another Mark Twain.
What's particularly good about that? It's a double whammy.
Yeah.
Because he's being sarcastic about evolution,
Right.
But in a strange way, people should take the analogy of the glasses, because we know those glasses were made for ears. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's strange. We know that we did that, and no one would ever go, what a coincidence. Yeah. I just found these weird glasses on the floor and they fit my ears. And that's what people can't get around, because they want to do that with everything. They want to do that with, Yeah. But wasn't it great when he made bees like pollen? That was a master stroke. I just had.
Wow, I think he's reading my mind. Y'all did hear me talk about the mosquito. Oh, I think I used another bug. But anyway, still, this is amazing how me and this guy is kind of like on the same page. I did watch a small part of this video, but I didn't watch it up until this part. I didn't watch it. I just watched a few scenes and I say, okay, this guy I want to use as an example to explain atheism. So I have not seen all of this video, but this is very, very, I think, what did I say, y'all? Y'all leave a comment in the box. What did I say? But I refer mosquitoes to something. I don't forgot now, but yeah, this guy is actually saying the same thing. This is the mind of an atheist.
Had flowers and bees. He went, no, I'm going to make them need each other. Brilliant.
You are a pathological atheist, and therefore the thought of death is very final for you. For me, it's the start of something new and glorious. For you, that's it.
Okay, see, I think this is why religious folks hold on to religion, because they want to believe in the afterlife. You want to believe that there's a chance you can see your loved ones again. There's a chance you'll live in everlasting paradise. And yes, it may sound good, but what if it's just a delusion? What if it's just is total deception? It's just what man gave you in order to rule over you. What if there is no afterlife? For one, they can't prove the existence of God. And see, what people don't understand, scientists have proven this. If you believe in something hard enough, depending on, it don't matter what it is, you can actually manifest it into an existence. You can make it come true. That's why the Bible describes us as being gods. Jesus did not say we was beneath him. He treated us as equal. And he also says that we will be able to do the things that he have accomplished on this earth, not just the things he he has accomplished, but even more. Yahshua, Emmanuel, Jesus told us that. And he came just to show us the power we have in our hands. If we stop looking for another being to do it, but believe that that being exists in us and that we can manifest anything into an existence that we want if we truly believe in it. You have people that doctors have told was cured from cancer, and because they believed it, the cancer went away. That's not a lie. Go ahead, Google it, research it, YouTube it, do what you got to do. But I'm telling you, that's what happened, ain't it?
For me, it's the end of something glorious, so I have to pack it all in. But, you know, I'm not depressed about it. I don't want to die any more than anyone else. And I think there's this strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for.
You have more to live for.
We have everything to live for.
Yes.
I think it's precious. I think it's beautiful. I think the world is amazing. I love people, animals, art, every hobby. I can't believe my luck that I'm alive for these 70 or 80 years. Might be less. Wait, you know, I'm not long for this world. My nan used to say that. She lived till 83. I think it was 40 years ago going, I'm not long for this world.
What are you said the things you like. What are the things that really annoy you?
Only two things really, really make my blood boil, I suppose. I suppose in general, as I get older, injustice. Injustice quietly makes my blood boil. Either personal, social, political, personal. I suppose the two main categories are religious intolerance, this arrogance that you think, you know, arguing over whose God is right sort of gets me down a little bit, you know. And I've got no problem with spirituality. I really haven't. That's another myth. And I always try and make the difference clear between spirituality and religion. One is a very personal feeling, a journey, a hope, or whatever, a need, you know, a joy. And the other is an organized body that uses that for power and corruption in many cases. In many cases.
And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. If you're a spiritual person, then you're willing to seek knowledge wherever knowledge comes from. It doesn't matter what a person spiritually believe. If it fits you and if it moves you, then it's right. It's the right way to go. But when you have or should I say, when you part of a religious organization, it is a structure that is built to control you. How many times your preacher now bash other religions and tell you that Jehovah's Witnesses are evil? Jehovah's Witnesses are not evil. They don't believe in donating blood. They don't believe in celebrating pagan holidays. Christian folks trip me out with this. Let me tell you what they do. They grew up in a pagan society. You grew up celebrating Christmas. You grew up celebrating Easter and Halloween and all of these things like that there. This is what Christians do. They have kidnapped and they steal every good thing and try to make it their own, just like they stole Judaism and they renamed it Christianity. But they say all the Jews are wrong and they're right. So they kidnap Christmas and they say, no, we're not celebrating what you're celebrating. We're celebrating the birth of Christ. I thought that's what Christmas was all about. But we're not going to hang up Christmas trees and decorate them and do all of that stuff because that's pagan. Listen, I don't care if you want to say Christmas is about Jesus Christ. Jesus was born the 6th month out of the year, according to the Bible. He was born during springtime. Okay? He wasn't born nowhere during the winter because folks was prowling in a farmyard. They was out there managing their crops. This is a time where you could grow crops. Religion will teach you to hate other people. All they do is criticize and put themselves on a pedestal like they're anything better than anybody else. I don't care if you're a crackhead, a drug dealer, a prostitute, a drug addict. I don't care what it is. The Bible says there's no sin greater than the other for a reason. You can't say that to a Christian. A Christian knows for surety that they're better than you because you're living a certain lifestyle that they disapprove of, even though they have no scriptures to go against it. If being drunken or drunk is a sin, when was Noah punished for being drunk and his nakedness being exposed by his son, Ham? And he did not curse Ham, but curse Ham's descendants. How could you curse Ham's descendants when you already caught up in the midst of sin? You drunk, dude. That's supposed to be a sin. How you still got the authority and power to curse somebody who laughs at you in that state that you're in? That don't make no sense. The Bible tells you you're entitled to strong drinks. Jesus blessed the people at the wedding with wine after they was already intoxicated. Yeah, there was people, come on, you know you got an uncle or auntie or somebody out there that drinks entirely too much who was at that wedding falling over the tables, being drunk, starting stuff, or just too much for you to deal with till you want them to leave. Now, Jesus had to have known that before he gave them more wine. This is my challenge to anybody out there. I will send you $40 if you can send me any scripture where anybody was, how I want to say that, where anybody was punished by God for being drunk. Show me anywhere in the Bible where God retaliated on a man for overindulging in alcohol. And I will send you $40 on Cash App. Just send me your information. Okay, so like I said before, this is Prince with Biblical Truth. You have tuned in to my channel. I'll just need you guys to let me know what you think about this video. Leave a comment in the box. Hit that notification bell. Let me know something. I'm very interested in hearing what y'all think about this because I have one or two disagreements with the guy, but for the overall message that he put out there, he makes a valid point. So y'all let me know what you think, and let's do this thing real. I'm gone.